To like what extent do you believe that gender has affected politeness, like in your everyday life? Like, do you find yourself being a little more indirect with people rather than saying exactly what's on your mind?
I think it depends on who it is. Like, if I know them, then I probably won't. Like, I'm still polite, but like I'm a little bit more honest. But if it's like someone I don't know, then I'm gonna be as nice as possible. It's also like if I had like a male teacher, like I'm like, I don't know why, I'm like a little bit more intimidated, so I might be like, like, hi, can you help me? But like if it's like a female teacher, then like I feel a little bit more comfortable with them, just because,
Okay, so you're saying like it varies on like your kind of personal relationship with the person? Okay. I mean, have you ever, or what do you think is more polite? What would you think it's more polite for someone to talk to you with direct messages or indirect messages?
I think it depends what it is, Like, if you want me to do something, ask politely. Don't be like, do this for me. Like, I want, like, if you're talking to someone, you have to be polite.
Yeah.
They're a person who, you don't yell at them or, like, tell them to do something as if they're, like, an object or, like,
Yeah. So why do you think that men are told, like, to be more direct with their messages and what they want, and not to, like, work around it the way that women do?
Like I said, men are always seen as the superior type. They're always seen as the CEO or, like, the boss of something.
So it's kind of like the environment we were raised in?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if a woman comes off as direct, how does that?
People might see it as, oh, she's mean or she's bossy.
Okay.
But, it's, we did this to ourselves.
Yeah, it's just like the viewpoint of society, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming out.
All right, hello, Lorenzo. How you doing today?
How you doing? Good.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and yeah. Question number one: do you think, as a man, being indirect or being direct has effects on your messages?
Being a man, I can see how it can affect my messages depending on who I'm speaking to, though.
Yeah.
So, like, say I am talking to someone like my family, per se. Like, if I ask my sister, like, yo, pass me the salt, that sounds a little direct, but like because she's my family and we're comfortable, it's okay to seem that way. But like, say I just made a group of friends, we're going out to dinner, I'm like, hey Sandy, yo, pass me the salt. This way, like, I don't really know her that well. I don't think that we are at a state where that would be okay. That's why I think maybe as a man, especially towards a woman, I could seem a little more like demeaning, I guess, or like, I guess, showing my masculinity, but I don't see it that way. But that's how it could be seen.
Okay.
That's why, like, especially with people that I just met, or like people I'm not that comfortable with, I'll be a little more indirect. I'm like, excuse me, like, hey, do you mind like passing me the salt? Like, being a little more polite.
Yeah.
So like being with people that you're more comfortable with and people you just met can definitely affect how you act and what you say around them. So like it says if you're gonna be direct or indirect depending on who you're with.
Do you believe that your gender impacts the level of politeness that you express towards people?
No. Being polite is being polite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it doesn't matter if you're a woman, man, or whoever, like, being polite is polite. It may be like I think personally, like, being polite is common courtesy.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't matter like what gender you are. It's just being polite is being polite, and that's how you should be as a person, not just as a gender, but as a person you should be polite.
Okay. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Basically, what I wanted to interview you on today is the principle of politeness in terms of gender, like specifically masculine and feminine. So it's said that women are more socialized to give indirect messages. Indirect messages being like, if I asked you for something, I would say, do you think I could maybe, or would it be possible if, where men are more like straight to the point. Why do you think that is?
So, I don't know. I think women are more susceptible to being like more dainty, and I feel like that's a more dainty way of going about it. And I feel like they feel like, whereas men are more like, this is what I want, and I'm going to say it straightforward, more blunt maybe.
Okay. How do you think that people react when a woman gives a direct message?
I think they're like shocked and like probably like, oh, she means business. Like we have to follow what she's saying.
If a man were to ask you personally
Right.
and say, hey, like your boss,
Right.
and he says, hey, I need this done by today. Or if he said, do you think that maybe you could finish this soon?
I wouldn't feel as motivated to finish it.
Yeah. So like sometimes like directness is necessary.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think directness is being impolite. I think it's just saying what you need and being like blunt about it.
Okay.
But I don't think being indirect is impolite either. It's just like a not as secure way of going about something.
Okay. I mean, which do you think is more polite? Like if you were addressing your teacher and asking them for something?
I mean, personally, I go the daintier way. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you think this is? But like, I guess that's more polite.
Yeah.
Going about it like do you think this is so and so, or like, how do you think? Rather than being like, tell me what this is.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, do you think that men are direct, or do you think they're also indirect in that sense?
in the sense of what?
Like asking a teacher.
I think men are indirect too. I think because they're a higher power, and you're
Yeah.
just asking a question that they know the answer to. So you're not going to be like, show me what this is.
So it's like not so much as gender as it is situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
What is the connotation that comes with a woman giving a direct message?
There is a tendency, I think, for when women are very direct with their communication to be seen as aggressive rather than assertive, right? Assertive is simply being frank. This is what I want, this is what I need, this is what you need to do, as opposed to aggressive, which is almost angry and in your face. And it doesn't seem like that's expected for women, and so it depends on how it's said. It also depends on who you're saying it to and what the context is. But I think sometimes the connotation of a woman being too direct makes her, mannish, for lack of a better word.
So, do you personally believe that a woman can like be direct without being mannish? I would say, or defy the stereotype of being aggressive, as you said.
I think that you can. I think that it's definitely something that I strive to do. I also think it's something that women can learn to do, particularly when you are finding yourself immersed in a male-dominated world. So higher education in general, particularly in leadership roles, is very male-dominated. Typically department chairs and above are mostly men. And before this, I was in retail. I was a general manager at Best Buy. And there again, the leadership team are often male. And so initially, I think it was really difficult for me to find that balance of wanting to be a people pleaser, because that's what I was taught I was supposed to be, but then also recognizing that I'm a boss, and so I need to be in charge. And so I found myself sort of vacillating between these extremes of trying to make everyone happy and be their friend, or being very bossy and demanding, and neither approach was really very effective. It was something that I had to learn over time, that I could be direct, but I could do it in a way that didn't sound bossy or wouldn't earn me any labels that I didn't want.
Okay. What is the connotation that comes with a man giving an indirect message?
That he's weak, or that he's feminine in some way. That if a man can't just say what he wants, or say what he needs, or say what he means, then he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay. Which do you believe is more polite? Women have been socialized to be indirect rather than direct.
Which is more polite, being direct or indirect?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the perception is that it's polite to be indirect, but the reality is that what's appropriate in any given situation is based on the context. So based on what's happening, it may be more polite to be direct. And I think that that's going to vary from individual to individual and context to context. Though I think our culture would argue that being indirect is more polite.
Thank you, Dr. Vivi. This was a great interview, and thank you.
Thanks, Leah.